On the table, is it really true? Plants vs. Zombies are back on? Hey everyone, it's Dan at Squirrel Stampede, and look at there, Plants vs. Zombies finally back on the table after what, 917 days? That would be 131 weeks? 22,000 hours? 1.3 million minutes? Or over 79.2 million seconds? Finally back on the table, what a long break. And then we've got this very highly sus construction. It's a strange combiner I found over on Amazon. Finding lots of very suspicious toys lately on Amazon. What is the deal? Is this thing really real? I have a strange feeling that this was never really released anywhere, or has it? I don't know. It's very sus, but very cool. For the longest time, I've been wanting to have a something grand from Zomboss, something he could wreck Dave's house with, and here we go. 5 of the greatest Zomboss Zombots that attack Dave's house in Plants vs. Zombies 2. We've got the War Wagon, we've got the Sphinxinator, we've got the Plank Walker, even a Gargantuar Prime is in here. So many greats that build together. We've got to see this, so let's get right to it and bring back Plants vs. Zombies to Squirrel Stampede.
Squirrel Stampede! Please like!
And a squirrel-eyed!
So we start with Ancient Egypt, the Zombot Sphinxinator. What exactly have I run into here? This giant Zombot mech toy found on Amazon. Not sure how legit this is. Very sus, but very amazing. You don't know how long I've been looking for something like this. The Zombot Sphinxinator. Your first boss in Ancient Egypt. Right now we've kind of got it into the Pharaoh bot mode with the giant head of Zombot on top and the back here as we spin around. These things are basically triple changers, I would suppose. We can transform and advance into a scorpion mech mode by opening up these wings here, opening up these claws on either side, rotating down the teeth, deploying the scorpion tail, and lowering the 4 legs. For a toy with very sus origins, actually pretty well done. Some of the plastic in some of the locations feels a little cheaper than others, but in other places pretty solid. Zomboss is up on top driving, but he looks pretty good there. Absolutely impressive Zombot from Ancient Egypt. Now we move on to Pirate Seas with the Zombot Plank Walker. What a fantastic pirate ship Zombot. Pirate Sea's always one of my favorite, and this mech doesn't disappoint. The legs are a little loose and a little wobbly, so it takes some patience to get it standing how you want it to get to stand. Right now it's really hunching down. Oh, there it goes. Zomboss built with a lesser quality hydraulics, I suppose. You can also stand this one up pretty tall. There's several different ways you can kind of work with these legs, move them down a little more, and you can get some pretty good height with it. Zomboss up top with the pirate hat. These first 2 mechs look pretty close to actually what you see in gameplay compared to some of the mechs coming. It's a very seaworthy build. And this one has a transformation too. Let's start by closing up the back sails here, lowering the mast, raising the side wings up. Oh, look at those cannon details and the ribbing, very nice. We're going to want to rotate these legs around in a funky way. Let's see here, what is it trying to do? Oh, I see, the whole body rotating around, giving the front of the boat a shark-like mouth, and then rotating this part back, and we're going to kind of give it this like squid-like look, I suppose. Some arms down here. You'll want to fold over and in the legs toward the back, creating a fishtail-like thing. They kind of snap together. And then you'll kind of want to move in and out this main torso section to kind of push in this fishtail. And I think we have it. This is so interesting. I've got to go back and play again. I can't remember if he uses this alternate form or not in his attack in Pirate Seas, but I'll take it. It's pretty awesome looking. A little bit tricky in some of the transformation, and the plastic work is a little bit light, but it sure looks great. I believe if you take care of it, play with it gently, it shall last quite a bit. Very nice Plank Walker. Now if Crazy Dave can just get it out of his pool. Next up, from the Wild West, we've got the Zombot War Wagon. Some could say possibly a variant of the Pirate Sea's Zombot plank walker with these 4 legs. I sadly just broke mine though. It was shipped with the cow head up, and the cow head was so sealed tightly that when I flipped it around I caused some massive damage under the eye. I'm so bummed out. I almost thought for a second that cow head was unmovable and I just pressed too hard. But what a fantastic Wild West Zombot War Wagon we've got here. Also a little bit tricky with these 4 legs. They're gonna kind of want to move around on you a little bit. They don't lock in too tight, but they sure look great, and you can kind of give it a raised look and a lowered look, which is a lot of fun to play around with. Plus I like the wooden nature of it, even though it's in plastic. Although I do detect some die-cast parts in here. I think this back piece for some reason is die-cast. It's like playing with old school Transformers for a second here. But what a war wagon. It's got a lot of great positioning. So now we can kind of get it into battle cow mode. To start, you're going to want to pull apart like so. The legs are going to rotate in a way that we can keep the wheels up top and the cow legs down below, I suppose. Oh, and flip these around, I think. These back sides flip around. We're then going to want to flip around the back tail somehow. There it goes. And I think this whole section... Oh, I get it. This top part actually is what rotates down. Inside. There we go. Getting closer. Get our legs down. And then flipping down our cow head that I kind of broke earlier. You're going to want to pull down and then rotate. Back in, rotate, then back up. At least it hides some of the damage this way. And there we go. Wow, that is an impressive cow walker. Another variant, I'm going to have to check again with the game and see if Zomboss transforms into this mode. Maybe he uses this to ram you. I can't remember, but it's so cool looking. So well done. And now, we move to the far future with one of the Zombots I have been wanting to see for years. The Gargantuar Prime, or otherwise known as the far future variant of the Gargantuar, a mechanized version. This thing is amazing. Look at the telephone pole arms. Look at them, they're so cool. They swing about. I believe we have an imp up top driving like we should. Some of these back panels opening up. A little bit tricky in the under torso. I believe this flips in more, but I saw some plastic fatigue in there, so I'm just going to leave it as is. I've already broken one of these today. This is so cool though. It is so special to see. I don't think the plants like it very much. And this would be the only non-Zomboss boss mech in this series of 5 mechs from Plants vs. Zombies 2. So this one actually transforms into a truck. How interesting. So the first thing we need to do is lift the little imp head up. There we go. A little bit worried on these. They're a little bit fragile. But if you go the right direction, you shouldn't have any breakage. The tricky part is knowing what direction you go. So we're rotating this head down a little bit. It's kind of funky. Oh, I suppose like that. We're kind of building the headlights of the truck. Then we're pulling forward our cab. This is like the Optimus Prime of Zomboss bots. And there's so many sliders in this design. They're a little tight at first. I think they'll loosen up as we go. Then we're gonna open up our arms, giving our plants a big, big hug. And let's see here. Rotating around like so. This is so odd. We then want to open up these backpack sides, and next we work on the feet, lifting up these small little panels. A lot of detail in these feet. And so then I suppose we fold these around? Is that what we're doing? It should feel very close to Optimus Prime. I've got to pull down this hip region. Okay, yeah, I think they pull out and rotate down a little bit, but this is still up. Oh, I think I was supposed to do that secondary. So pull our wheels, rotate down, flip these up somehow, and then attach together. Okay, now we're getting closer. Ah, that sounds right. And then these will fold down over the sides. And finally, we pull back the arms all the way, and we're going to do some rotation with the telephone poles. Must be a telephone pole truck. Rotating these up. And flipping our imp back down on top. We get it? That is a little tricky at first, but I think it will get easier the second time. But there is our Gargantuar Prime truck. Kind of feels like a scary Jeepers Creepers type of wagon, doesn't it? Look at that. Did I get the front right? Oh wait, this needs to rotate down. There we go. There's the lights right. A little bit openness, ugliness in the way these arms fold around. But it's a pretty nice little truck. Doesn't roll too smoothly. But just to see Gargantuar Prime today was so amazing. Okay, drive off and let's check out our last far future Zombot Tomorrowtron. The far future has some of my most favorite creations. The Tomorrowtron with more four-legged movements. It's pretty exciting how many joints they added into these legs. That's pretty nice. That doesn't really look like Zomboss up top, does it? It looks like just a future regular zombie up there. But it does have that signature Zombot look with the giant yellow eye up front. Pretty fantastic looking. So this one transforms into a futuristic chicken. So the first thing we do is we flip up the side wings, which actually smoothly deploy compared to the last Zombot. Now we're going to lift up this upper section here to retrieve our chicken head. And that's just going to kind of rotate around oddly. There is our chicken head. And we can place back down, I believe, our top section and rotate up our chicken plumage. Oh, I love anything with chickens. Before squirrels, I used to really like chickens. Then we've got this bottom thruster jet that's going to rotate forward somehow. There we go. So the back legs will fold back out to the back, kind of like a giant mechanical chicken tail. And then fold the front feet down and back to create classic chicken feet. Don't forget to fold the smaller claws back for stability. I think this might be my favorite one now because of ease of transformation, and most of the joints on this one are tighter than the others, and so it kind of plays really well. That is funny. Well, fly away, chicken Tomorrowtron, and now we can start constructing the ultimate Zombot mech giant. So this is what we're going to try to build. Interesting, I don't think I've ever seen that in gameplay. But it looks so amazing. I love combiners. So we begin with our friend Gargantuar Prime again. He's going to make up the groin section of this giant Zomboss bot. And I think once again it will be kind of similar to the truck. We're going to flip things around, pull out the front cab. This time rotating our little imp dome down and inside, reaching the arms out. And then pulling the legs out somehow. And I think we have the start of our giant mech. Let's place aside for the moment. And bring back our Wild West War Wagon. Now this thing actually breaks apart into two. Oh my, how does that work? Oh, okay, I see from the bottom view. It just should slide from top out. Lacerations, right? There we go. And then we'll want to transform this thing sort of like this. Don't ask me even how I did that. Then this piece will transform to look like this. That was a little easier than the back section. Then we bring back Gargantuar Prime, which I discovered a couple more things. These arms actually go in. The only reason they had us pull them out is because you can switch these wheel wells around. So in Gargantuar Prime mode, you can hide the wheels, and in truck mode, you can have the wheels visible. I didn't notice that from before. So now we've got the arms closed up and these cool telephone poles folded back, and we should be ready to add the feet. So walking our feet back in, we should be able to slide the Wild West Zombot War Wagons into feeted positions. Not bad, those give a solid foundation. So now for the arms, we'll take the Pirate Seas plank walker and we'll just fold in these shark fins on the side, flipping upside down and attaching, I think, this way, over here, in between the two cannons. It only posts in on these telephone pole arms at one point. Pushes in pretty well. It's not the strongest of fit, but it holds right now. Take the Tomorrowtron Zombot and rebuild back as before, but this time with the legs kind of pointed down for fingers, and place that on the other arm. One posted, but you know what? It's holding in pretty well, surprisingly. Next, bringing back the Sphinxinator, pretty much the original form, only this time we're going to fold the legs up and back, I believe. I think there is only one point for attaching here to our giant ultra Zomboss mech. Let's see if we can get this together. Okay, I think I've got a direct fit now. And behold, the ultimate of Zombot engineering, the Ultra Zomboss Zombot Combiner. Impressively dwarfing Dave's neighborhood, this thing is giant. Yeah, Dave, your work's cut out for you. You better add in a walnut. Look at this giant combiner though, how impressive. I don't really recall when Zomboss created this thing, if he ever did in gameplay. Seems like a great ending boss for Plants vs. Zombies too. From all sides too, looking pretty good. Rotating around to the back. I like how the Wild West zombie is poking his head out in the back here. But surprisingly very well balanced for such a large hulk of machinery. Again, one would worry about these arms on the 1 points at the shoulder parts, but they're holding pretty strong. And I like all the claw work going on with the hands. Both sides, pretty good work with finger control. Zomboss, of course, up top, still inside the ancient Egyptian Sphinxinator head, and some of the helper zombies throughout the build. I like turning this one over around like this to have the shark mouth of the boat open. Seems like an extra weapon effect. Really, from any angle, this thing looks just terrific. So that is what Zomboss creates with all his Zomboss boss mechs. Very impressive. Hopefully Dave down there will have some sort of strategy to defeat it.
Moving to another state.
I think he's moving to another state. Here comes Bonk Choi though, to punch him in the shin. Oh, that injured him a little bit, and down he goes. And there we go with the Zomboss Mega Zombot Ultra Combiner, whatever you want to call it. Absolutely impressive. Again, this is a very sus purchase found on Amazon though. It's a little spendy. It runs about $120 to build. You can buy either the whole set together or you can buy components, your favorite Zombot I suppose. I had to see the whole thing, and now I gotta fix my war wagon because of that catastrophic head destruction. Anyway, if you liked today's video, please give us a squike, a squirrel live, and a squament. Let's talk all about Plants vs. Zombies again because it's been so long. So great to see again. Thanks for watching. That's what I have to say about that.